A warm welcome to you anywhere around the world. This is Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority from Abuja. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. President Bola Tinubu has departed Lagos for Pretoria, South Africa, to attend the inauguration of President Cyril Ramaphosa. The inauguration of President Ramaphosa follows his re-election as president for a second term. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngilali, indicates that President Tinubu is to return to Nigeria after the ceremony. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has reiterated the Nigerian Air Force's commitments to collaborating with other security agencies in the fight against insecurity. He made the statement during an Eid al-Kabir luncheon with troops of the Air Component's Hadarin Daji at the 213 Forward Operating Base in Katsina State. Awal Haliru reports.
These are the gallant officers of the Air Component Hadarin Daji and the 213 Operating Base. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, is here to celebrate Eid al-Kabir, the feast of sacrifice, with the troops. He stated that the gathering is to appreciate the frontline troops for their success in the ongoing fight against banditry and other crimes.
These successes by the Air Component Operation Hadarin Daji in synergy with other security agencies have continued to contribute to the security within the region. I am indeed impressed by the gains you have made in this theater of operations. Well done to you all and keep up the good work.
The boldness and the commitment you display every day are qualities that inspire us all and serve as a beacon of hope.
The Chief of the Air Staff acknowledged the supreme sacrifice made by the troops to keep the state and the country safe. During his visit, he inaugurated projects and inspected facilities at the new operations area at Katsina Airport, as well as a sports facility at the 213 Forward Operating Base. He assured the officers and men of their welfare, commending their response, which led to the recent successes in the ongoing onslaught against bandits in Katsina State. Awal Halaru, NTA News.
Moving on to some Salah Day celebrations, Rivers State Governor Seminalayi Fubara says he remains committed to providing equal opportunity for everyone living in the state while ensuring religious tolerance, which is key to peaceful coexistence. He stated this while receiving stakeholders of Rivers State Council for Islamic Affairs who were in Government House, Port Harcourt, on a Salah solidarity visit. Osinachi Samuel reports.
The solidarity visit by leaders of the various Islamic groups in Rivers State is in the spirit of Salah celebration. The governor noted that his administration will continue to provide an environment for peaceful coexistence among different people and religions in the state in order to advance development. While assuring the Muslim community of his continuous support, Governor Fubara promised to look into some key needs of the people.
Happy that in our state today, we have created that room for accommodation. You all work together, and in fact, mentioning it here, I feel very happy, and I assure you I'll continue to give my support.
The Vice President General, Rivers State Council of Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Nasser Wow, commended Governor Fubara for protecting the interest of the Muslim community in the state, which has enhanced religious harmony and mutual respect for all.
Just last Friday, we held our special prayers during which we called for all hands in the state to be on deck in support of your administration.
They also thanked the governor for promising to look into their request and assured him of their continued support. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
In a related development, Governor Basi Otu says it is time for Nigerians to start thinking in the direction of peace, respect for constituted authorities, and embrace the uniqueness of the nation's heterogeneous and multicultural setting. As such, is pertinent for progress and societal growth. The governor stated this while sharing in the Eid al-Kabir celebration with the Muslim community in Calabar. Justina Etem reports.
Muslim faithful in Calabar thronged the residence of Governor Basi Otu to share in the spirit of love and togetherness which Eid al-Kabir promotes. Governor Otu felicitates Muslims across the country, informing that his administration has set machineries in motion to strengthen the economy while suing for patience and faith in President Tinubu administration.
We do not segregate here in this state. Most of you were even born here and have grown here. I don't think we can send you back to anywhere because you'll be a stranger wherever you go to. So we welcome you here with all our love, and we know that from you, generations will still come. We pray that Nigerians as a whole will have that understanding. Amen. And know that if we grow together as a people, we'll achieve more.
We trace the history of this celebration back to the lifetime of Prophet Abraham, when God asked him to slaughter his only son then called Ishmael. And Abraham was willing to do so. But God the Almighty, out of his infinite mercy, reverses and said, no, I've seen your commitment, Abraham. I've tested you and you passed. Don't sacrifice Ishmael. Instead of that, slaughter a ram. That is why you see the Muslims today, they slaughter ram when we are celebrating this today. And the essence is all about sacrifice. Sacrifice to your immediate community. Sacrifice to your family. Sacrifice even to yourself.
For the Muslim faithful in Cross River State, this year's Salah celebration in the states is tagged Salah of Sweetness in conformity with the state government's mantra and impacts on the society. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
In the spirit of Salah celebrations, the historic city of Durbar, legendary home of Bayajidda, hosted a vibrant Durbar Hawan Magajia at the Durbar Palace. The event drew dignitaries including former First Lady Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. Hussaini Suleiman reports that the acting governor of Katsina State, Farouk Lawan, affirmed the state's commitment to preserving the rich cultural heritage of traditional institutions. The reports.
The ancient town of Durbar in Katsina State was filled with excitement and joy as sons and daughters from near and far returned home to participate in the grand Hawan Magajia ceremony and to reunite with loved ones. Emir of Durbar, Umar Faruk Umar, led a procession of council members and horse riders through the major streets, receiving warm greetings from his subject before culminating at the palace.
I'm amazed by the level of display of the accessories of the horses and the type of horses I've seen here, including my son, who is also one of the Hakimis, but this is the first time I'm witnessing it, and it's such an amazing ceremony.
Alhamdulillah, that's all I can say. As you can see, the turnout, it explains everything. So we're very happy to see the mother, former First Lady, Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, the Emir himself, and many more.
And Alhamdulillah, you can see how the Muslim Ummah are all out in Durbar to celebrate with His Eminence, the Emir of Durbar, Dr. Umar Faruk Umar.
How Magaja is observed 2 days after Salah in recognition of the significant contributions of women to the existence and prosperity of the Daura Emirate. In Daura, Hussein Suleiman, NTA News.
Abubakar Musa is in our Maiduguri Network Center, which will be our first port of call on Nationwide. Over to you.
That's true, Ayodeji. Compliments of the season to you. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja says he is poised to reposition the Nigerian Army for optimal performance in the theater of operations. He stated this at a Salah luncheon organized for troops of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai in Maiduguri. Tina Turo was there for us.
The Salah luncheon is a way of boosting the morale of officers and men of the Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai, especially the wounded in action soldiers, to let them know that they are not alone in the struggle to recovery and acknowledge the gallantry of officers and men who daily sacrifice themselves on the altar of insurgency for the peace and stability of the country. Taking stock of his 1 year in office, the Chief of Army Staff highlighted successes recorded in the theater of operations, especially the recovery of vehicles, arms and ammunition, which have further strengthened the armory and fleet of the theater command for optimal performance. He urged officers and men to remain resolute in protecting the territorial integrity of the country and internal security.
As an army, it has been a year of unquantifiable sacrifice in blood and treasure, as we have lost gallant warriors and precious equipment to our ongoing fight against insurgency, terrorism, banditry, secessionist agitations, and oil-related crimes, amongst others.
Officers and men of the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai were treated to sumptuous meals. In another development, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, inaugurated newly constructed roads and rehabilitated ones, as well as an office complex in Maiduguri. Tina Turu, NTA News.
And still on Eid al-Kabir celebration with soldiers, the Nigerian Air Force says according utmost priority to the welfare of personnel is a task that will not be compromised towards boosting the morale of troops to perform optimally in the theater. This was the central message during the Chief of Air Staff Eid al-Kabir luncheon with Nigerian Air Force personnel held at the headquarters, Air Component of Operation Hadinkai, NAF Base, Maiduguri. The report.
The Nigerian Air Force believes there is no better way to appreciate and encourage troops on the front line than to bring them under this peaceful atmosphere. Hence, the Chief of Air Staff Eid al-Kabir luncheon, which is now a tradition. Though activities such as wining and dining took center stage, the Chief of Air Staff's Salah message focused on reinvigorating personnel towards the attainment of greater objectives ahead.
As we celebrate this festive season with goodwill and blessing of renewed health, let's keep our eyes on the ball to accomplish our missions towards meeting the security needs of the country.
For Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, represented by the Commissioner of Information and Internal Security, Professor Usman Tar, it is incumbent on the state government to ensure that the Air Force is provided with resources and necessary support to carry out air missions effectively and efficiently.
Your sacrifices, both seen and unseen, have ensured the safety and security of our communities, including the Maiduguri International Airport and other contingent areas of the Operation Hadinkai.
Major successes of the Air Force, such as reactivation of several unserviceable platforms to enhance operational effectiveness, as well as presentation of awards to Governor Babagana Umara, Shehu of Borno, and Theatre Commander Northeast Operation Hadinkai, also featured. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa.
This is Nationwide on the Nigerian Television Authority. Let's take a break here. There will be more reports for you as soon as we return.
You're welcome back. The leather industry might experience challenges that will affect the supply of raw materials, hides and skin. Most of the training and tanning industries rely on the Eid Kabir festival for the supply of raw skin. Correspondent Musa Baba Aliyu from the Niger State capital is investigating what is responsible for the short supply of the skin.
Cost of sacrificial animals during the Salah celebration has affected the supply of hides and skin this year. Tanning industries rely heavily on middlemen for the supply of the raw material. Scavengers move around nooks and crannies to buy the skin and sell it to the middlemen or representatives of the tanning industries in their localities.
Most of us will become an agent, can only buy and take it to the foreigners in Kano and whatsoever. It is them that used to take it to export it to another country.
This merchant in Mina, the Niger State capital, said the supply this year is very low.
By this time last year, I had in possession more than 7,000 pieces of skin, but now I have less than 3,000.
Reports from Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto and Kebbi states indicate a shortage of supply of hides and skin this year. In 2003, Nigeria exported hides and skin and leather worth $85 million. This was lower than the $86 million recorded in 2022. This figure was released by the National Bureau of Statistics last year. From Mina, the Niger State capital, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The newly flagged-off Metro Line free train service was launched on the 29th of May 2024. Correspondent Kama, who boarded the train from the Abuja Metro station to the last stop at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, reports that the initiative is already making waves in the FCT.
I bring you a groundbreaking development in the transportation sector that is set to revolutionize commuting in Abuja. On the 29th of May 2024, the highly anticipated Metro Light Train free ride was flagged off, and it has been creating a buzz ever since. Imagine a hassle-free journey from the Abuja Metro station to Idu train station all the way to the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport access. And the best part, this free ride runs at least 3 times to and fro in a day.
The directed that it should be free till the end of the year. So I believe that we should also use the services that we provide. That way we can see how it gets better. It's a great effort.
We had the privilege of speaking to some of the passengers who have experienced this new form of transportation, and their testimonies were nothing short of glowing. They raved about the efficiency, comfort, and cost effectiveness of the free ride.
This is actually my first time entering a train, and I'm so marveled. It's very fun. I didn't expect it to be this fun.
It's totally free, and the staffs are very, very good. They are kind. They are very interactive.
This is something we've been hearing about long ago, but had not experienced it. So I think experiencing it today is a thing of joy.
I feel good, very well.
To the government, thank you for creating such an innovation, and they should do more.
We know they are making efforts to ameliorate the hardship. So this is another way for us to know that really they are thinking our own way.
Like Oliver Twist, they couldn't help but ask for more, urging the authorities to extend this fantastic service to Nyanya and Karu routes of the FCT. So, if you're looking to simplify your daily commute, experience top-notch service, and save some coins in the process, hop on board the Metro Light Train free ride while it lasts. Kama, NTA News.
The federal government has recorded yet another success in the efforts to boost healthcare delivery through health infrastructural development with the acquisition of a multi-million-dollar oxygen plant for the Federal Medical Center at Abeokuta, Ogun State. Lekon Agbonde examines the importance of the oxygen plant on healthcare delivery.
A human being who takes in oxygen and releases carbon dioxide with a perfect respiratory system may not know the value or worth of what nature gives them freely until there is a need for oxygen while on a sick bed.
If there is any deficiency of oxygen or the percentage that is required in the body, once it is below that,
then all other systems will be affected and we are likely to lose the patient.
If you look at a newborn baby, premature baby, 28 weeks, 30 weeks, most of those babies, I can say almost 100% of them cannot survive without availability of oxygen.
Although the Federal Medical Center Abeokuta as an institution has experienced unprecedented transformation, achievements and breakthroughs, the acquisition of this oxygen plant is regarded as a huge narrative in the history of the institution.
Because we spend millions, our daily consumption is something close to about 2.5 million worth of oxygen. And you know that getting this from the private sector that are manufacturing oxygen is an Herculean task. So that we have them in our center right now is one of the greatest achievements of this administration.
It has made a tremendous impact. Somebody like me can now sleep peacefully at night, because anytime there is lack of oxygen or there is a dearth of oxygen, you can bet that I will get several phone calls overnight.
It enhances our performances as nurses, because many patients that will have died untimely, by the time you give them oxygen therapy, you realize that they are revived.
Because we run 3 shifts there, morning, afternoon, nights. So making sure those staff are on ground to run the 3 shifts, and we must make sure that oxygen is available for patients' use.
With the plant in place, the Federal Medical Center Abeokuta now has the capacity to process both gaseous and liquid oxygen for the hospital and other health facilities around that may require their services. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
We now join Lekon Agbonde live at the Federal Medical Center in Abeokuta for more insight into the oxygen plant. Lekon, what's more can you tell us about the capacity of the plant and how will this impact on saving more lives, of course, and costs?
Thank you, Ayodeji. This hospital is one of the federal tertiary health institution in Ogun State, and as you can see behind me is the oxygen plant. Based on what the nation and the global community have experienced in the past, especially during the COVID-19, where oxygen became the mainstay and the only thing that people needed for survival. And the federal government, seeing this as something necessary, declared emergency on talking about provision of oxygen in hospital and tertiary health institution across the country. Federal government is doing a lot to ensure that the health of Nigerians is not jeopardized. And because of that, the federal government, in conjunction with international partners and in the health sector, provided these oxygen plants. This plant has two factories that produce oxygen, gaseous and liquid oxygen for the use of the hospital. This hospital is about 750 bedded hospital, and about 500 of the wards of the beds has been piped, and provision have been made for oxygen for any patient that will require it. And the management of this hospital, led by the CMD, Professor Adewale Musa Olomu, were excited and very happy about the gesture of the federal government in making provision for this very laudable project, in which they describe it as one of the greatest achievements of this administration. And I have here the CMD of this hospital, Professor Adewale Musa Olomu, who will tell us more about this project. Professor, looking at this very laudable project, and what is the hospital intend to do in terms of maximizing the opportunity and maximizing the usefulness of this plant in terms of sourcing for materials and raw material for provision of oxygen?
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Let me first of all appreciate the federal government for taking this great initiative. It's one of the best steps the federal government has taken in recent times to ensure that Nigerians are healthy and they are taking care of Nigerians. Let me also thank the Minister of State for Health and as Dr. Alausa, as well as Professor Pate, the substantive Minister of Health. They are doing quite a lot. Now, it became more obvious during the COVID era that there's a lot of deficit in oxygen supply into our hospitals, especially tertiary hospitals, and the federal government took a very good step by declaring emergency, oxygen emergency in all the federal tertiary institutions. And I can tell you that virtually all the tertiary institutions in the country can boast of production of oxygen. You have behind here, this is 10,000 liters of liquid oxygen, facilitated by usage FHI 360 Global Fund, and far there, just some few kilometers away from here, we have the gaseous oxygen already facilitated by the Federal Minister of Health. So we are good to go. Let me tell you that some 10,000 liters of these 6 consignments will be supplied to us, and we will sell to the patient at subsidized rates. We have opened a subsidiary TSA account where we are going to keep the money, and we take the money to the market to purchase after they have left us. So sustainability and maintenance is ensured. And the other one, it's gaseous oxygen and takes air from the atmosphere and passes through some machines and process it, and at the right percentage of oxygen that is needed by human beings is given to us, and we produce quite a lot of cylinders every day. In fact, we are about selling oxygen. So this is a laudable project that the federal government has taken, and I really appreciate them for this. Thank you very much.
Just like the professor say, the hospital is now enjoying provision and supply of oxygen for the use of patients and any hospital that will require it. And also the federal government is also doing a lot, especially at this hospital, just like what the professor says. And let me return you to the studio, Ayodeji, for the rest of the news. Thank you.
Now, Leko, if you can still stick with me and have this conversation, since the chief medical director is there, can he tell us how affordable it will be to the common Nigerian out there? Because after all, it was done with the intention of improving healthcare delivery.
Ayodeji, Director, what other project is this hospital is looking for in the nearest future?
Well, it's not something very far. Currently, our cardiac center is under construction, and we need some 10 billion naira to complete the project. I started it in 2018, and we are still at the foundation stage. I'll be very happy if through the Federal Minister of Health.
Professor, these are projects are affordable with this oxygen plant will be for the common man.
Well, the thing is that it's going to be affordable. Like I told you, we are going to be giving 10,000 liters, 6 consignment free of charge. And we're going to sell at reduced price. We have also gaseous oxygen. It's also at reduced price. So whatever we muster from those two sales, we'll be able to go to market and purchase as many as we want. So it will be very, very affordable. And like I told you about the cancer case, the cancer center is on, and you know that these patients that are dying that need this oxygen at very critical stage. So it will also be beneficial to these cases with patients with terminal cases, especially patients with cancer. So it is a laudable program, and we're going to really back up the federal government to achieve more for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor. Back to the studio. Ayodeji will continue with the rest of this news. Thank you very much.
Leko Agbonde, I'd like to appreciate you for your contribution on the oxygen plant at the Federal Medical Center in Abeokuta. And of course, I will expect that to improve healthcare delivery and accessibility to all Nigerians. Let's continue from here in Abuja and tell you that discrimination against people living with autism continues to be of great concern in today's society. June 18, being World Autistic Pride Day, seeks to correct this anomaly while bringing acceptance and understanding about this condition. As the day is being marked this year, correspondent Francisca Belel examines the challenges of those living with the condition.
Nigeria, we hail thee.
20-year-old Ahmed Salami is a special boy who has had to deal with multiple health challenges right from childhood. He was diagnosed with autism, a brain disorder which causes autistic people to behave, communicate, interact or learn in ways that are different from others. Ahmed also battles cerebral palsy and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, but with the help of his supportive mother, he is now using content creation on YouTube to tell his story and advocate inclusivity for people with the same condition.
So guys, stop with the bullying, please. Stop with the physical bullying and the verbal bullying. It's not cool, not cool. They're discriminating. We're not animals, man. We're not animals.
When I was told, I was actually very upset. I cried for 2-3 days because his life entirely is a challenge. He did not walk early. That means he had to do a lot of physiotherapy before he started moving his leg after he turned 2. He didn't have neck control. He didn't sit. Everything was delayed. He didn't have speech until he was around 6-7. We did tests to determine if he could hear. Because we knew he could hear, we were encouraged to keep talking to him. So we also used this opportunity to encourage all parents.
Cases like Ahmed's prompted a group called the Aspies for Freedom in 2005 to establish World Autistic Pride Day to be held yearly on June 18. The day is a reminder to all autistic patients that they are a treasured part of the human society. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the day, many questions about autism remain unanswered, especially the acceptance and understanding of neurodiversity.
Autism cannot be cured. It can only be managed. So if you manage it to a certain point, it becomes non-traceable. Occupational therapy, some of them can't do things for themselves. They still need to be taught how to brush their teeth, to take their baths, to put on their shoes, their clothes, and all of that.
The theme for this year's World Autistic Pride Day is moving from surviving to thriving. In Abuja, Francisca Belel, NTA News.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention earlier in the month alerted states of the Federation on increasing cholera cases nationwide, with 30 deaths, 1,141 suspected cases, and 65 confirmed cases reported between 1st January and June 11, 2024. Named among the 10 states that contributed 90% to the burden of cholera in Nigeria, Bayelsa State public health managers shine a spotlight on the true situation with the assurances that the state is collaborating with relevant partners to ensure that cholera is not a threat to public health in Bayelsa State. Ifoma Akhoje has the reports.
Cholera is a waterborne disease, and so one of the first things you want to do to control the spread of cholera is ensuring proper hygiene. You should be careful of your source of water.
Cholera is known as a disease affecting people with inadequate access to safe water and basic sanitation. While the NCDC recently called the public's attention to cases of cholera reported from 96 local government areas in 30 states of the Federation, in Bayelsa State, only 14 confirmed cases, culminating from 1st January till date, have been recorded.
We had close to about 500 cases of persons who have been reported to have had diarrhea in the past, and those are the persons we call suspected cases for cholera. But we have not recorded any deaths this year because of all of the measures the Ministry of Health had put in place, because of the massive support also we've gotten from the government. We have done very well.
The level of cholera in Bayelsa State is still within the normally acceptable level, because we have all facilities and all personnel on ground to ensure that we respond anytime there is an outbreak, and that's what we've always done.
Our investigation shows that the Bayelsa State government has launched a comprehensive campaign and initiated effective partnership and other measures to address issues around cholera.
We're talking about a lot of our hospital services being top-notch facilities. We have a system now where most of our facilities are working, and we have healthcare workers who have been trained. We also have surveillance officers all across our health facilities, even in the communities.
Admitting that vaccines provide the fastest intervention to prevent, limit and control cholera outbreaks, public health experts insist that prevention and management such as safe water hygiene and sanitation are viable keys to forestall impacts of this preventable disease. In Yenagua, Ifoma Aihuji, NTA News.
Lovers of latest technology in electrical home appliances are sure to having access to a variety of products. As Sims Nigeria Limited, a guaranteed reliable distributor of electronics, and TCL, one of the leading manufacturers of electrical home appliances globally, have officially announced a partnership. Bolaji Akim reports that with the partnership, Sims Nigeria Limited is now the sole distributor of TCL products in the country.
The best products are the
Nigerians who are tired of purchasing substandard products, with this partnership we have no more worries, because management of Sims Nigeria Limited, with over 30 years of being a reliable, trusted distributor of quality electronics home appliances, and TCL, with over 40 years of inspiring greatness and pioneering new innovation, has come to change the trajectory. The union, which has been on since the beginning of this year, will bring comfortability to homes across the country, provide opportunity for Nigerians to have access to quality electrical home appliances with latest technology produced by TCL at affordable prices in all Sims outlets across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
We don't just sell products to end users. We also bring them the quality. We want to improve their life quality. So I think number one, that is quality. Number two is the service. Seems they have complete local system. Yes, and at TCL we have this strong background. If we join together, we can provide better service to the whole market.
For Sims, the partnership will not only give lovers of technology value for their money, but will also promote skills development, boost the nation's economic growth, and provide job opportunities for Nigerians.
It's a global brand in electronics. Sims, we've always prided ourselves in making available the latest technology for the Nigerian market. We've seen the inroads they're making globally. We've seen that Nigeria cannot be left out in what's going on out there. So that's the reason why we've come together to make sure that the products are for the Nigerian market as well.
With guaranteed warranty of up to 5 years, depending on the product purchased, service after sales and efficient customer support services, TCL and Sims Nigeria Limited say putting consumer satisfaction on the front burner of their partnership is a priority. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Kaduna is our next stop on Nationwide, and Muhammad will be our guide. Over to you, Muhammad.
Ayodeji Makinde, and thank you for joining us in Kaduna. Farmers in Kaduna State have appealed for government's intervention to subsidize the price of fertilizer, which has shot up about 50,000 naira per bag. The farmers are making this appeal as the 2024 wet season farming activities commence across the state. Haruna Muhammad reports.
Fertilizer is one of the critical farming inputs guaranteeing good yields for farmers. However, this year, the price of the input has become a major challenge to smallholder farmers. It is in the light of these that farmers, agro-dealers, and fertilizer producers and suppliers association of Nigeria appealed for federal government's intervention.
We are aware that farmers are finding it very difficult to access fertilizer, and because there are just 2-3 operators who have monopoly power, and we know that monopoly situation arises when people have control over the price and over the output. And unfortunately for us, the key players there are very strong. That government has to intervene, but that's the only way we can be able to break political power.
They also called on the government to adopt measures necessary that will drastically reduce the price of fertilizer to avoid food crisis and inflation on food produce in the country.
In the immediate, government has that executive power to actually break the monopoly power of those people that are controlling and distributing this fertilizer. So if that is done, fertilizer will be readily available at affordable prices by the masses, because if you look at the bulk of these farmers, especially in villages, are poor.
When contacted, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security says it has commenced the distribution of fertilizer donated by the central bank to states to cushion the effects of the challenges. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has warned local government chairmen and community leaders against the illegal allocation of lands in the state. He gave the warning when he received the Emir of Dutse, Hamim Nuhu Sanusi, on a Salah homage at the government house in Dutse. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
The governor was commended by the Emir of Dutse, Hamim Nuhu Sanusi, for outstanding performance, especially in the areas of agriculture, education, health, youth empowerment and employment, and the provision of mass housing in just 1 out of 4 years tenure, says Jigawa must remain peaceful for it to develop sustainably, citing illegal land allocation by community leaders and local government chairmen as responsible for communal and farmers' hardest crisis in some states. Governor Umar Namadi says Jigawa cannot be plugged into such an avoidable crisis. He notes that a committee has been inaugurated to work with the 5 emirates in Jigawa state to ensure that no cattle route is encroached on by farmers and no herder goes out of the demarcated route into farmlands.
The issue of land is the major problem of a crisis, and we will not allow anybody to bring crisis to us. So we are very, very decisive on this. We are very, very serious on this, and that's why I call on the Emir to talk to his district head, to talk to his village head and ward heads. On the part of the local government chairman, we are going to handle them.
For those who have an interest in farming but may not have farmlands to cultivate, the governor states that the state government is ready to give them parcels of land in the state's forest reserves on the lease agreement.
And we also use the opportunity to convey the message of Mr. President that he has given us some trailers of fertilizer to distribute to the people free of charge. And I already have set up a committee that involves the traditional rulers, the ulamas, the civil society organizations, the government officials, the security agencies, and all the stakeholders are involved.
These measures, stakeholders believe, would address the potentiality of land-related crises that may come up with the growing population of farmers and herders in Jigawa State. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA.
And that's our contributions from Kaduna. Thank you very much for watching. We now take some break. The news continues. Don't go away.
You're welcome back. As part of efforts to enhance food production, Enugu State's government has distributed over 1,000 bags of rice seedlings to rice farmers in the state. Chiagono Aro reports that the program is a collaboration between the State Ministry of Agriculture and a private firm targeted at empowering 1,200 farmers.
Food is one of the most essential needs of man to survive in life. With the recent rising food crisis in the country, the Enugu State government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has signed a memorandum of understanding with a private firm to improve food production in the state. It is against this backdrop that rice farmers in Uzowani local government area have been empowered with relevant skills in rice seedlings, Faro 44, to boost rice production. The move is part of the ongoing Sustainable Action Plan for Economic Recovery in the state.
As a government, we have given ourselves targets to ensure that all our activities around rice production, that the output runs between 600 metric tons to 1 million metric tons.
We're growing rice, soybean, and expanding the livestock footprint of other rice.
We are happy. I will still have hope that
we are, even with the training that we've acquired.
Tinubu state government have made an excellent and positive transformation towards the farmers.
It is expected that the move by the state government will yield good fruits. In Enugu, Chiegon Aro, NTA News.
For the latest in the world of sports, let's join Olumide Eguntola.
The International Paralympic Committee, IPC, is celebrating Nigeria's para table tennis couple, Christiana and Kayode Alabi, who are preparing to feature at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games in France. The IPC described the couple as role models for athletes across the globe. Christiana and Kayode Alabi are intensifying efforts to represent Nigeria at the Games and have good results. The couple met through the sport. In the English Premier League, the 2024-2025 Premier League fixtures event has been held Tuesday, June 18. The new season will start on August 17, 2024 and will run until Sunday, May 25, 2025, when all matches will kick off simultaneously as usual. Next season will consist of 33 weekends and 4 midweek rounds of matches. The league organizers have also made arrangements to allow more rest time over 3 of the festive match rounds, with no club playing within 60 hours of another match and no game to be played on Christmas Eve. The mid-season break has also been removed from the calendar to allow for the mid-August start date. From the ongoing 2024 European Championship, hostilities continue Tuesday in Group F as Turkey locks on with Georgia. It will be Portugal against Czech Republic. With sports update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
That's been nationwide from Abuja. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ayo Deji, Makinde on behalf of the entire production crew. This is the Nigerian Television Authority. Good evening.